Hey guys, welcome back to another episode. My name is Mobby, and today I'm going to give you my first impressions, thoughts, and review of the Swords of Ditto. I'm going to be showing you guys a lot of gameplay, giving you guys a little bit of plot points, making sure not to spoil too much, and of course at the end of the video, hopefully you can decide if this game is right for you. Now, all the footage you are going to be seeing today is taken straight from my Let's Play, so if you are interested in watching that, link down below. I think this game I'm going to play all the way through, but we will see. Anyways, let's begin. The Swords of Ditto is an action RPG, top-down, roguelites, and I'll explain more of that later. Let's begin with the story. Now, it's very basic. First of all, like the first minutes of the game, you wake up as a nameless character on the beach, woken up by spirits of a dung beetle, I believe it was, named Puku. And he pretty much rushes you and tells you, here, go get, pick up this sword from the town here. And as soon as you pick it up, the game begins. You have very little direction, but it's enough to get you where you're going. Pretty much, Puku says, you gotta go defeat this major bad guy that's been haunting the world for hundreds of thousands of years. So, without going too much into detail on how you get there, you go to the dungeon and you die. Pretty basic storytelling. Now, this is where the game, starts to ramp up story-wise. What happens when you die? You wake up in a new body and you have to find the sword again and begin the quest again. So pretty much, the first couple of hours, I was really trying to figure out what type of game this is going to be. Usually, whenever I play a roguelite or like type of game, you always have some sort of permanent town that you build up. Once you die, you lose a lot of stuff. In this game, I should figure out what is permanent in the game, what do you lose when you die, and what kind of progression is this game, and what is the super ultimate end goal. The ultimate end goal is to defeat that boss that destroyed you at the beginning of the game, and here's how you do it. You run around, it's a top-down hack and slash, right? There's tons of different enemies depending on where you are in the world, and there's a lot of enemies to, to defeat. You're mostly using a basic sword, and you get more abilities later on. You can customize it and all that stuff, but pretty much you're running around, and as soon as you kill an enemy, you level up a little bit. Now, that's one thing that does persist throughout the different eras, as the game likes to call it. Whenever you die, pretty much 100 years pass, and then Puku, who was that dung beetle, raises you up, and it's like, hey, pick up the sword, and then you all of a sudden have an amazing swordsmanship ability. So for what I've seen, your money persists as soon as you die and you go to a new era. Your level stays as well, and there might be some other stuff. There are some inventory stuff that you do get to keep, such as your basic toys, which is your tools in the game, and something called celestial coins, which I don't want to spoil too much about. So let's talk about some of the extra gameplay stuff. Like I said, you're primarily using a sword, but you can also get stuff like a bowling ball to throw at enemies, a torch to not only light your ways in puzzles, but also burn enemies. There is status damage, that type of thing. You can get a drone for your character, and all of these is randomized that you find in the main town, and that's really cool. So I don't think there's anything else besides like your main sword. You can power up your sword, of course, and outfit it with different things. I did mention the toys. There are consumables, such as bombs that you could throw around, kind of like Zelda, where you pick it up and you throw it, or Bomberman, I guess, if you want to say that. There's also stackable consumables, such as medicine to cure poison, hamburgers, sushi for health, and of course the abilities. Every time you start a new character, which it's not going to happen too often unless you just are really careless and die, right? You're gonna want to stick with the character as much as possible. Every time you enter a store, in the different days, because this game does run on a real-time system, a real-time timeline. Think of it like as Majora's Mask, if you guys ever played that Zelda game, where you're on this timeline, and then as soon as it hits whatever goal it is, and in Zelda it was 3 days, and in here in the Swords of Ditto it is 4 in-game days. You're going to be forced into the final fight. There are ways around it, but I don't want to talk about that right now. But whenever you enter a town, there's different shops. There's a convenience store, for more consumables. There is a sticker store where you get your abilities. For instance, At the beginning of the game, you have a slot for your sword, you have a sticker slot for your body and helmet, and then it's basically like Paper Mario in that sense, where it's your equipment. You go in and you see how much money you get by defeating enemies, finding them in chests, and of course slashing grass a la Zelda, which is pretty cool. So you go in and then you either get like, you get different buffs, like, oh, you have a towel, you have like a hot claw for your sword, which increases your attack by 8%. Passively regen HP, increasing attack during the day, etc. And there's also really awesome ones that give you new attacks. So when you do die, I found out that those are some of the things that do not persist. So you build up all this money that does persist throughout the runs, and you buy this really awesome, amazing sticker that you add on your sword or something. If you die, oh my god, you're gonna lose it. I have not yet found a way to keep stickers, but I don't know if that's gonna be a thing later, because there is a town, it sort of persists and stuff like that. And there's also other little towns. And then one little cool feature that I do like in the game is when you go to the sticker store, there is sometimes an option to buy a random like pack. So think of it like just, randomizing, throwing a dice and see what you get. There's different rarities, of course. And I did find out that, so not only like I said, do you die and start over, but the map resets too, and that's one of the big things as well. You really need to know that. So every playthrough is gonna be different for everyone, or at least I hope so. So pretty much whenever I would die and get a new character, the map would change, enemies were different, things were just all over the place, so you have to re-explore. But I also found some new things. There are some, side quests and key locations that you're gonna run into every now and then. But one of the really enjoyable experiences I had in the game was re-exploring the map and seeing, oh, this is here now. You are now selling this thing. That is really cool. That type of thing. So yeah, it's really cool how you can customize your character and just find lots of random things. The revive thing, it's hit or miss. It's really, you have to expect it to enjoy it. If you like games like Binding of Isaac and stuff like that, but you want to have more, of a longevity with the run, this is right up your alley. It's pretty cool. Like a Binding of Isaac run, 20 to an hour for the most part. This game here, holy crap, you're gonna be starting and stopping, saving your game, and it's an auto save. You can quit the game, it'll start in the map that you were on, which is pretty cool. I want to talk about the graphics, by the way. The biggest selling point for me was the graphics. I looked at this, I had no idea what the heck the Swords of Ditto was, and I saw the graphics, I saw the screenshots, and I was like, okay, it's giving me some sort of like, besides the style, which was like a top-down Zelda type of thing, it reminds me of Adventure Time so much. It is extremely charming, these graphics, and it really drew me in. It's so colorful, everything pops up, all the animations are fluid, even like running around through main character, he has so much of a walk to him, all the enemies. It is such a nice looking game, and even though graphics aren't everything, this is such a polished look. You have to appreciate how awesome that looks. Let's move on to the audio, by the way. Nothing really stood out to me. The sound effects, the music, like nothing is sticking to my brain of like, oh yeah, this theme is amazing, or this, the sound effect when you attack is great. There was nothing too fancy there. So yeah, I mean, the best part definitely is the graphics. Definitely the graphics. Let's talk about bugs, thoughts, and my final thoughts about this. Final issues. First of all, 100% recommendation. I was actually surprised that on Steam, as of recording this video, it is a mixed review. I went down, I was like, what's going on? Am I seeing something? People are. Basically, a lot of people are having bugs at the moment, different crashes and whatnot. That's easily fixed with, easily fixed with updates. So, besides that, the only other complaint that people had was that there is co-op in the game, multiplayer, local only, and I'm pretty sure it's only one other person. So I don't know how that works. I didn't have no one here to try it with. I was actually looking in the game and I was figuring out, oh, where does the multiplayer come from? I'm gonna guess you probably press start on another controller or something, and maybe it's a jump in play type of deal. But anyway, this was only my first reaction, thoughts, review thingy. I've only done a couple of hours and there was a lot left to do and explore. and hopefully throughout this video I've shown you enough gameplay and giving you a little bit of an insight of, you know, how I perceive the game to be. I think it's awesome, and like I said, all the footage you saw today is from my Let's Play, so if you're interested in watching that all the way through, I'm gonna have a link to the playlist is down below. And if you are watching this at a much later date, yo, leave a comment down below, or if you're watching on the same day, leave a comment down below. Have you guys tried this game? What do you think about it? Your first impressions as well. Are you gonna play it, and what are your personal pros and cons about it? Because, you know, this is only my opinion, my first couple of hours, and so far I really like it. So big thumbs up for me. Check it out, the Swords of Ditto. If you guys liked, please like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and turn on the notification bell, because YouTube doesn't always, you know, show notifications when a video is uploaded. Not only my channel, but other ones too. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.